I think it's beneath me. The truth was put out there. You hear my side and that person's side. And here we are having to address it yet again.
It's official. After months of whispers, endless court delays, and a flood of speculation online, the final verdict has been delivered. Jackie Christie, the bold, outspoken star who once ruled reality TV, has just been sentenced. And right beside her, her daughter, Chantel Christie, heard the same fate. The courtroom was silent. No cameras, no glitz, no glam. Just the sound of the judge's voice echoing across the room as two women once known for luxury, laughter, and endless chaos on Basketball Wives sat still, realizing that the world they built had finally collapsed.
I was doing nothing but telling the truth. I heard her say it, and I repeated it. I'm grown. And I do what I want. You know who I am. I'm Jackie Christie. That ain't gonna change.
For years, fans watched Jackie command every scene, never backing down, never showing fear. But this time, it wasn't another TV fight or dramatic reunion episode. This was real. And it ended with tears, disbelief, and two women being led out in handcuffs. But how did they get here? How did the queen of VH1 drama and her once promising daughter end up facing years behind bars? To understand that, we have to go back to where the cracks first began to show, long before the courtroom lights ever flickered on. Jackie Christie wasn't just another reality star, she was the show. From the moment she stepped into the Basketball Wives spotlight, she made sure every camera stayed locked on her. She was fiery, unpredictable, and impossible to ignore. She argued, laughed, and cried on national television, all while building a brand around being unapologetically Jackie.
You're not on my level.
I'm a crack because I'm small and you try to get lipo 80 times to look like me. Okay, big ears?
You're right, but you better keep your ass in that seat, tramp. That's what you better do.
You're right, Dumbo ears. Yeah, I got a lot of husbands about these ears, bitch. Get a husband. That 48-year-old been working, bitch. You right.
Retire.
And for a while, it worked. She became one of VH1's most talked about personalities, bold, dramatic, and always at the center of attention. Off-screen, she carried herself like a business mogul. She talked about real estate, fashion lines, and mentorship programs. She painted a picture of a woman who not only survived Hollywood but mastered it. Right beside her stood her daughter, Chantel, beautiful, smart, and soft-spoken. To fans, Chantel was Jackie's mini-me, her pride and joy. Together, they appeared unstoppable, a mother-daughter team ready to take over every lane from beauty to business. They attended red carpets side by side, shared family photos online, and showcased a glamorous lifestyle that looked picture-perfect. Designer clothes, expensive vacations, luxury cars, it was all there.
Disgusting. It's disgusting. It makes me sick.
She said a lot of things that actually hurt my feelings as a mom.
But behind that glittering image, people started to notice something wasn't adding up. Jackie and Chantel talked about investments and million-dollar projects, but no one could ever pin down what those businesses actually were. There were no storefronts, no visible offices, no products anyone could buy. Still, the money flowed and the lifestyle kept getting bigger. Rumors began swirling quietly in the background. Some said Jackie's finances didn't come from TV checks or fashion lines, they came from something else entirely. And soon, those whispers became warnings.
All the slander going on with these ladies, I just wanted to take a step back and enjoy my time, focusing on what means the world to me, and that's my family.
It started small, an anonymous tip to the IRS. A few questionable financial documents. But what investigators uncovered next would shake everything the Christies had built. According to federal reports, Jackie and Chantel were allegedly involved in a series of fake businesses, companies that existed only on paper. These businesses applied for government relief loans, filed for tax breaks, and reported losses that never actually happened. The investigation found multiple shell companies tied directly to Jackie's name, and several under Chantel's. Money was being moved between accounts, disguised as business expenses and charity donations. But in reality, investigators said it was all part of a calculated scheme, one that had been operating for years. For months, the Christies had no idea they were being watched. Federal agents quietly built their case, collecting emails, tracking wire transfers, and even pulling communication logs. Every time a new company popped up under their name, it went straight into a growing evidence file. And then came the raid. Early one morning, agents arrived at their home with a search warrant. What they found inside painted a chilling picture: stacks of financial documents, signed loan applications, and correspondence between mother and daughter discussing where to move funds next. That's when the fairy tale image shattered completely. The headlines exploded. Reality star under federal investigation. Jackie Christie linked to financial fraud. VH1's most dramatic star faces prison time. The woman who built her name on being real was suddenly accused of living the biggest lie of all. When the trial began, the energy shifted. Jackie, usually so confident and commanding, walked into court looking distant. Her husband, Doug Christie, sat a few rows behind her, stone-faced, trying to avoid cameras. Prosecutors didn't waste time. They laid everything out: bank statements, fake tax filings, and company records that showed clear patterns of fraud. They claimed Jackie and Chantel used their fame to legitimize a web of fake businesses, all while taking in thousands of dollars in loans meant for real small business owners. One witness after another stepped forward. Former friends, ex-associates, even a former accountant who admitted he was pressured into falsifying numbers to keep things looking good. Then came the most shocking moment: a secret audio recording. In it, Jackie's voice could be heard advising Chantel on how to keep the amounts small so transactions wouldn't trigger suspicion. It was short, but powerful enough to shake the entire courtroom. Chantel broke down when the clip played. Tears streamed down her face as she covered her ears, whispering to herself. Jackie sat still, eyes fixed forward, refusing to react. By that point, the damage was done. The prosecution called it a mother-daughter operation built on greed, deception, and manipulation. The defense tried to claim it was all a misunderstanding, that Jackie didn't understand the paperwork, that Chantel was just following her mother's guidance. But the evidence was too heavy to ignore. When the verdict came in, time seemed to freeze. The jury found both Jackie and Chantel guilty on multiple counts, including wire fraud, tax evasion, and conspiracy to commit financial crimes. Gasps filled the room. Chantel's attorney tried to comfort her as she broke down crying. Jackie didn't shed a tear. A few weeks later came the final sentencing hearing, the one that ended everything. The judge didn't hold back. He called Jackie a master manipulator who used her fame and influence to build trust, only to exploit it for personal gain. He said her actions weren't just illegal, they were a betrayal to the people who believed in her, who admired her. He sentenced Jackie Christie to 18 years in federal prison. Her daughter, Chantel, who cooperated partially during the investigation, received 10 years. The courtroom was silent as marshals approached. Jackie took one long breath, looked at her husband in the back of the room, and mouthed something only he could hear. Then, she turned and walked out in cuffs. Chantel followed seconds later, eyes red, body trembling, whispering "I'm sorry" under her breath. Outside the courthouse, fans and media gathered, stunned. Reporters shouted questions, but there were no answers. No statements. No tears for the cameras. For the first time in years, Jackie had nothing to say. The reactions online were immediate. Social media lit up with disbelief, sadness, and anger. "I used to love Jackie's wild energy on TV," one fan wrote. "But this feels like betrayal." Another added, "She built her whole brand on loyalty and honesty. Turns out, it was all an act." Clips from Basketball Wives started resurfacing old arguments where Jackie boasted about success, wealth, and power. But now, people watched them differently. The same confidence that once made her famous now looked like arrogance. Brands she once promoted pulled her image. VH1 quietly removed her name from their official site. Even old castmates, women who had clashed and cried with Jackie on screen, stayed silent. It was as if her entire legacy had been wiped clean overnight. And as for Doug Christie, insiders say he was blindsided. He filed for legal separation days after sentencing, reportedly devastated by how deep the deception ran. His career, his reputation, and his peace were all tangled in the fallout. What made the story even sadder was Chantel's part in it. She wasn't a villain, at least, not at first. Those close to her said she grew up idolizing her mom. Jackie was her role model, her protector, her world. When investigators questioned Chantel, she told them she never meant to hurt anyone, she just wanted to make her mother proud. But in chasing that approval, she lost herself. In court, she admitted she didn't understand everything she signed, but she knew something wasn't right. Still, she trusted Jackie. She believed her mother had it all under control. The truth was, Jackie had been running things for so long, she thought she could outsmart anyone, even the system. Now, with both of them sentenced, the fallout continues. Their businesses have been shut down. Assets are being seized. Properties are under review. And VH1 has permanently distanced itself from the Christie name. Friends describe Jackie's final moments before sentencing as haunting. She reportedly told one person, "They can take everything, but they can't take who I am." But the question remains, who is Jackie Christie now? The fiery TV icon? The master manipulator the judge described? Or just a woman who let her need for fame and control destroy everything she loved? For years, Jackie preached loyalty, success, and sisterhood. She built a fan base by being raw and unfiltered, the woman who said what others wouldn't. But now, that same energy has come back to haunt her. It's almost poetic. In the darkest way, the woman who spent decades running the show now has no control over her next chapter. No cameras, no fans, no script to rewrite the ending. As she begins her prison sentence, sources say Jackie has become withdrawn. She reportedly spends most of her time reading and writing letters, refusing interviews. Chantel, on the other hand, has started therapy in custody and recently wrote to the court expressing regret for her actions. She said she hopes her story reminds other daughters that blind loyalty isn't love. Those words cut deep because they show what this story really was, not just a financial scandal, but a family tragedy. In the end, the fall of Jackie and Chantel Christie isn't just about fraud. It's about what happens when image becomes more important than integrity. When fame replaces family. Jackie built an empire on attention, but attention is fragile. It fades. And when it does, all that's left is truth. The same woman who once dominated reality TV now sits behind bars, facing the consequences of years of deception. Her daughter, once her pride, now serves time alongside her. It's a painful reminder that success without honesty always comes at a cost. And maybe, just maybe, this is the ending Jackie never saw coming, because for once, she couldn't control the narrative. No cameras. No producers. No second takes. Just silence. From red carpets to cold courtroom floors, from luxury handbags to prison-issued uniforms, the story of Jackie and Chantel Christie is one that will haunt reality TV for years to come. Because sometimes, the real drama doesn't happen on screen. It happens when the lights go out, and the truth finally comes to light. So, what do you think? Did Jackie deserve this outcome? Do you believe her daughter was a victim of manipulation or an accomplice who knew exactly what she was doing? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, because this story might be over, but there are plenty more shocking truths coming your way.